Ezekiel 3, verse 8. Behold, I have made thy face strong against their faces, and thy forehead strong against their foreheads. As an adamant, harder than flint, have I made thy forehead. Fear them not, neither be dismayed at their looks, though they be a rebellious house. First, I want to say, Call Allah, all glory, honor, and praises due to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakadash. I want to give double honors to my elders, apostles of Great Millstone, who teach and rule well. And I want to say peace and salutations to the hopeful elect. So, hey, as it says, Yahweh Shemashah was telling Ezekiel, when you tell the gospel to this rebellious house, the 2/3 of Israel, don't fear them not. When they give you a disgusting look, give them a disgusting look right back. Their foreheads are going to be hard against your foreheads. They make their forehead hard, you make your forehead even harder, because that's the battle. It's a spiritual battle at the end of the day, and it will soon become physical, during Jacob's trouble. So right now, we're pushing the truth, and, the hopeful elect, the ones pushing the truth of Yahweh Shem Shai, they're always catching hell from all sides. But we don't worry, because we have Yahweh Shem Shai, and what's of the Lord, it won't come to naught. If it's of man, it will come to naught, but what's of the Lord, it won't come to naught. We get that precept. This is Acts 5. This is when Peter, John, and the other apostles, they're getting persecuted by Pharisees and Sadducees for preaching the name of Yahweh Shah to the people. Verse 34. Then stood there up one in the council, a Pharisee named Gamaliel, a doctor of the law, had a reputation among all the people, and commanded to put the apostles forth a little space, and said unto them, Ye men of Israel, take heed to yourselves what ye intend to do as touching these men. And skip down to get to the point. Verse 38. And now I say unto you, refrain from these men, and let them alone. For if this counsel or this work be of men, it will come to naught. But if it be of the Most High, ye cannot overthrow it, lest haply ye be found even to fight against the Most High. So the Pharisee, Gamaliel, he was telling the other Pharisees and Sadducees, who were persecuting Peter, John, and the other apostles, preaching the name of Yahweh Shai, that, hey, back off of them, because if it's not the truth, it will fall apart itself. But if it is the truth, then you're going to be fine. You're going to be finding yourself fighting against the Most High himself. You're going to be finding yourself fighting against Yahweh Shemashah himself. Instead of these men. These men are just physical vessels. Us, the prophets, the preachers on the earth, the hopeful elect, we're just vessels for Yahweh Shemashah. So, and we're preaching the 100% truth in sincerity. So, everyone that tries to come against us, it's not gonna work. It just won't, because we're actually sincere in preaching the truth, the 100% truth of Yahweh Shemashah, the true doctrine, because this doctrine came from Yahweh, the Heavenly Father himself. So, yeah, that's the Pharisee Gamaliel telling them, hey, man, back off. You don't even have to do anything. But, the wicked Pharisees and Sadducees, they're wicked, so they didn't care about that. When you're wicked, you just want the downfall. They wanted the downfall of the truth to happen, but not realizing that Yahweh Shemashah is with these men, with Peter, John, and other apostles, preaching the truth of Yahweh Shai. So basically, the wicked in general, they won't prevail against Yahweh Shemashah. It's impossible. 2 Peter 2, verse 9. The Lord knoweth how to deliver the godly out of temptations, and to reserve the unjust unto the day of judgment to be punished. So when all hell breaks loose, Jacob's trouble comes, the MOTB, RFID micro C-HIP is enforced, mandatory. Yahweh Shemashah is going to deliver the elect out of that temptation, of the hour temptation, where the RFID micro C-HIP, the MOTB, will be enforced. on the earth, but for everyone. But Yahweh Shemashah will deliver the hopeful elect and preserve them, as it says in the scriptures, from taking that MOTB, RFID Marco C hit, because we've been patient and enduring in this word, in this shoot. And, Lord willingly, Amratazal, we be of that number, we be of that elect that have that protection and be preserved from the MOTB, the hour of temptation, so we can be delivered out of Babylon the Great, out of the earth, and, not get destroyed with it, Lord willingly. This is Luke 12, starting at verse 51. This is Yahweh Shai speaking, red letter, starting at verse 51. Suppose ye that I am come to give peace on the earth. I tell you nay, but rather division. So Yahweh Shai himself is telling Luke and the apostles that he didn't come to bring peace on the earth. No. He's came to bring division, separation. Because when Yahweh Shai comes on the scene, many will be offended of him. And that alone will cause division and separation. Verse 52, from henceforth there shall be 5 in one house divided, 3 against 2 and 2 against 3. The father shall be divided against the son, and the son against the father, the mother against the mother, the mother against the daughter, and the daughter against the mother-in-law against her daughter-in-law, and the daughter-in-law against her mother-in-law. Because there's going to be a lot of division when it comes to the truth of Yahweh Shem Shai. That's how Yahweh Shem Shai set it up. Because, it's preordained to be like this, to be division. It's for the story. It's for the plot. You know what I'm saying? Everybody can't get along. It would be an interesting story. That's really how it is. This is the Lord's movie. So there's going to be a ton of division. That's why there's 1/3 of the Israelites who are going to make it, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, and the ones scattered across the entire world, the other nations, that may look like the heathen nations on the outside, but their sea line goes back to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob still. So there's 1/3 of our people who are going to be saved and delivered from the coming judgment upon the earth, and there's 2/3 of our people that are going to be dead and cut off, as it says in the scriptures, because that's division. There's going to be 1/3 who believes in the report of Yahweh Shai, Yahweh Shem Shai, and then there's 2/3 that won't believe in the report of Yahweh Shem Shai. The 2/3 are, they're gone basically. They're believing whatever false religion, ideology, philosophy that snared them into thinking that, it is what it is. That's the division. So when everyone comes against us, and they will, it won't be pretty to be a Hebrew Israelite very soon. As Yahweh Shai said, all men, all nations will hate you for Yahweh Shai's namesake. That's what Yahweh Shai said in the scriptures. So in this lesson, I said, make your forehead harder against their foreheads. They think you're in the wrong? Oh, no, we're in the right. Everyone else in the world, the 2/3 in the heathen nations, they're in the wrong. That's how we're supposed to be thinking. And we know that they're in the wrong because they're not following Yahweh Shem Shai. They're not following the Creator. If you're not following the Creator, you're in the wrong automatically. It's really just that simple. So that's just the mindset you got to have coming in to the times we're coming into, Jacob Trouble. Because, hey, man, we're about to be demonized like crazy. So you got to have thick skin. You got to stand 10 toes, like the world says. Stand 10 toes down for Yahweh Shem Shai to shoot. And know that everyone else is wrong and you're right because you believe in Yahweh Shem Shai. 2 Timothy 2, verse 3. Thou therefore endure hardness as a good soldier of Yahweh Mashiach. Yeah, let me continue actually. Verse 4, no man that warreth entangled himself with the affairs of this life, that he may please him who has chosen him to be a soldier. So we're supposed to be soldiers for Yahweh Shem Shai because this is an army. This is literally a spiritual army about to turn physical very soon. It's an army of righteousness. And we're about to go against the wicked. And as it says in the scriptures, Yahweh Shem Shai is going to lift up that standard when the enemy comes in like a flood, because we're going to need it. We're going to need it. The wicked has us outmatched right now with all their, abominable creations. heart attack guns, orbital cannons. Well, they probably got laser beams, superhuman soldiers. Oh, yeah, we're definitely going to need that standard lifted up by Yahweh Shema Shai. Lord willingly, Amratazah, we be of that number to get those spiritual powers and to whoop ass, Lord willingly. Isaiah 46, verse 8. Remember this and shew yourselves men. So Yahweh Shema Shai is telling us to present yourself as men. At the end of the day, you're a man. We're warriors. That's our heritage. That's our lineage. The Israelites are warriors. The so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans. And the Israelites scattered. We're warriors. That's our heritage. So we got to remember ourselves to be like men. And have faith in Yahweh Shema Shai no matter what the situation looks like. Bring it again to mind, O ye transgressors. We'll go to verse 9. Remember the former things of old, for I am the Most High, and there's none else. I am the Most High, and there's none like me. There is none like Yahweh Shema Shai. As it says in Deuteronomy, I'm pretty sure 32. Correct me if I'm wrong. It says in Deuteronomy, it says that Yahweh, Bashim Shai, they're the only ones that could kill and make alive. They're the only ones that can kill and make alive. And they're the only ones that can, they're the only powers that exist. As it says in the scriptures as well. They're the only powers to exist. So there's nothing for us to worry. All we got to do is fear Yahweh Shema Shai. The hopeful elect, they just got to fear Yahweh Shema Shai. They'll follow the commands to the best of their abilities and endure to the end. And Lord willingly, we're that elect to endure to the end. We're of that number. So, that's what we got to do because we know there's no other power like Yahweh Shema Shai. Verse 46, verse 10. Slakia, Isaiah 46, verse 10. Declaring the end from the beginning and from ancient times, the things that are not yet done, saying, my counsel shall stand and I will do all my pleasure. So Yahweh Shema Shai is telling us that his counsel is going to stand and he will do all his pleasure. So we know the enemy will never win. We know wickedness will never win. And we know the hopeful elect. And even then, all of Israel wins. It's just going to start with the elect first. The elect are going to win. And, we're hoping to be of that elect because we do not want to taste the wrath and the judgment of Yahweh Shema Shai because it's deadly serious. It's no joke, man. So, Lord willingly, Amratazah, we be of that elect. This is Matthew 5, starting at verse 11. This is Yahweh Shai speaking, red letter. Blessed are ye when men shall revile you and persecute you and shall say all manner of evil against you falsely for my sake. Rejoice and be exceedingly glad, for great is your reward in heaven. For so persecuted they the prophets which were before you. Ye are the salt of the earth, but if the salt have lost its savor, wherewith shall it be salted? It is thenceforth good for nothing, but to be cast out and to be trodden under the foot of men. So Yahweh is telling us that we're the salt of the earth. We're the ones that actually have the truth. So we're not supposed to give up the truth, no matter if they say evil things against us, persecute us, or even kill us, because that's a possibility as well. We have to give up our life for the truth of Yahweh Shema Shai. Death is on the table, So we have to be ready for all these things because, the enemy is getting ready to do all these things. Say, slander us falsely, persecute us, and even kill us as well. So, but Yahweh said, blessed are ye for when they do all these things for Yahweh Shai's name's sake, because that means you're on the right path. And when you see all of that, when you experience all of that, that should let you know that you're in the truth. You feel me? That should let you know that it should reaffirm to you that you're in the truth. You're on the right path, the narrow and straight path, like Yahweh Shai said in the scriptures, the narrow and difficult path. Because broad, the easy way will lead you to destruction. But the difficult, narrow, hard path will lead you to salvation. And, that's what we're looking for in this truth. The hopeful elect. We're looking for salvation. We're looking for immortality. We're looking for rulership over all the heathen nations. So Remember these things, you know? We are the salt because we have the truth of Yahweh Shem Shai. And what good is it if we conform to this wicked world and their wicked ways, you know? We're supposed to be following the law, statutes, commandments to the best of our abilities because we know the law, statutes, commandments doesn't save us, but we follow it to show our sincerity towards Yahweh Shem El Shai and to show our faith towards Yahweh Shem El Shai. Because we know ultimately we're only saved by grace through faith in Yahweh Shai. But we want to show our sincerity and our faith towards Yahweh Shem El Shai by trying to rehearse the righteous acts as the scriptures say. So don't lose that salt and keep holding on into the truth all the way to the end. 2 Esdras 15, starting at verse 1. Behold, speak thou in the ears of my people the words of prophecy, which I will put in thy mouth, saith the Lord, and cause them to be written in paper, for they are faithful and true. So we know this word, this doctrine of Yahweh Shem Shai is faithful and true. Verse 3, fear not the imaginations against thee, let not the incredulity of them trouble thee that speak against thee, for all the unfaithful shall die in their unfaithfulness. So we're not supposed to fear the entire world coming against us. We're not supposed to fear mortal men. Because guess what? They're going to die for not believing the truth of Yahweh Shem Shai. No, there's no need for that. No, they're just going to be gone. Well, because guess what? Everyone in the world is going to have to experience Jacob's trouble in the MOTB. So we're not supposed to fear these people slandering us, talking bad about us, saying we don't have the truth. Hey, we'll see. Because we'll see. The truth will manifest. I mean, it's manifesting right now. You can see it. The writing's on the wall. With Babylon the Great, America, allies hate America. Everyone in the world hates America. DJ Trump, Trump sending homegrown people to El Salvador. Hey, it's all lining up perfectly to the scriptures. So the people who don't get it, like, they just weren't meant to get it. Yahweh Shem Shai is not dealing with them. Like, it is what it is. Because the writing is so clear in the raw, if you can't see it, it just wasn't meant for you to see. And I want to end it off on Ecclesiasticus or Sirach 23, verse 19. Such a man only feared the eyes of men, and know it not that the eyes of the Lord are 10,000 times brighter than the sun, beholding all the ways of men and considering the most secret parts. So Yahweh Shem Shai, his eyes itself are 10,000 times brighter than the sun, beholding, looking at everything, looking at all ways of men, and considering the most secret parts of mankind, and judging on the things they do, and considering why they do the things that they do. So you're not supposed to fear mortal men. Mortal men cannot behold the ways of every single man in existence. Only Yahweh Shem Shai can do that, and consider the most secret part. If someone doesn't want to tell you a secret, guess what? You can't know the secret because you're not the Most High. You're not Yahweh Shem Shai. You can't go into their thoughts. But Yahweh Shem Shai can. So that's why you're supposed to fear Yahweh Shem Shai and not mortal men. Mortal men can't do nothing. Like, really, they can't do anything besides kill the flesh. But guess what? This flesh is nothing because it's about the spirit. And the spirit is what's going to inherit everlasting life. No, this flesh has to be changed as we, go up into the different realm, different dimension. And with that, I want to say, call Allah, all glory, honor, and praises due to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Barakadash. I want to give double honors to my elders and apostles of Great Millstone who teach and rule well. And I want to say peace and salutations to the hopeful elect. Lord willingly, I pray that was an edifying lesson. And with that, I want to say shalom.